We got more bounce in California than all y'all combined. We got more bounce in California. We like to party all the time. We got more bounce in California, where the hustlers all reside. We got more bounce in California, rolling easy when we ride.
Well, excuse me for a while, but it's time to propagate. I'm coming from the land where the seasons never change. We're all around the world, they're all looking to LA. Always the first in new directions, cause Cali...
In one word, it stinks.
I'll say disaster.
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 Yeah, okay.
Disaster. They're taking care of fewer people. They're overworked. If you go to Kaiser or wherever else you go, we know somebody who took early retirement from Kaiser because they worked so hard. Take care, man.
The pros and cons of the American healthcare system? Well, the cons are that... Yeah, let's start with the cons. I think the cons are that nobody can get health care. If it, like my friend here, for instance, I had to take him to the hospital. He ended up with a $4,000 bill because he doesn't have insurance. And so people die all over the street. People go around with cavities in their mouth. People go around with things wrong with their fucking privates. People go around with all kinds of stuff wrong with them because they can't afford to go in, because they're going to end up spending $4,000 like my friend, you know? So, and then the pros, there's not really many pros because there's many other countries that have better healthcare systems than us anyway.
Cons is definitely the cost. Also, I think the American healthcare system tends to get over-medicate, as evidenced by the commercials on TV and blah 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 blah. I think that's more the drug companies than I guess the medical system. Pros, doctors are very educated. They're great standards of achievement or testing or whatever it is.
Can you summarize in one word what you think of the American healthcare system?
Maybe bogus? One word?
One word.
Insufficient.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that? Why do you feel it's insufficient?
I guess because of my experience with the way that it is in other places and the way that it just makes sense the most, I guess. I mean, granted, there's the argument of the whole socialist system and how that could be bad, but at the same time, you know what I mean, there's our police and fire departments are all socialist based, kind of, like they don't roll up and tell you that they'll put out your fire of your house after you give them a credit card, so it's kind of like it makes the most sense that, like, if it's a country that the morals of it are the priority of the country are the people, then you know what I mean, like offering them, allowing them to have a better healthcare system is obviously, I don't know.
Say for instance, like I'm all mangled up. Obviously, I'm just gonna like clean that out with some peroxide and stuff. But per se, like what if I needed some stitches? I would not be going to get stitches. I'd go home and deal with it. And that's it.
Don't have insurance now, and I choose to sort of not really go to the doctor. So rather than going to a crappy clinic and staying there all day, or having to be, I don't know what kind of care I would get, because I have had insurance and I have had quality care before. So, but I just figure I'll try and just be healthy, and if I have a small injury or something, I'll just kind of heal myself. Or
as an actual practitioner, like what has been your experience like with people not being able to receive the care that they need?
They don't come to the doctor as often. They don't buy enough of their medicine. They get in worse condition. They wait until they're sicker before they come, and so it makes for a worse system.
Okay.
And it's actually gotten worse. I've been in practice 30 years. It's gotten way worse. So.
Canada, as far as I know, is it's free, I guess, but it takes forever to get in to actually see a doctor. If you have like a surgical need, it's going to take a really long time before you actually get it because of the backup. So it's 50-50. It's like you can either pay through the nose and have access to it, or have it provided to you by the state, and take your chances.
I've heard pros and cons about this for sure. Like pros would be obviously that you can get care regardless of your financial status or anything like that, or you have health insurance, because it's made available to everybody. The cons of it are that sometimes you have to end up waiting. That I've heard. This is what I've heard anyway in Canada, is that you say if I need to get some type of surgery or something, I may end up on a waiting list for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Who knows? But point being is it's still there available for you, so you don't have to like remortgage your house in order to like fix your body. So
I just know that my brother and his wife, she's German, they would love to have a baby here because all of our family is here, but they just can't afford it. They don't have health care here, and if they go back to Germany, she gets a year paid leave. It's all free. Midwife comes to your house. They actually give you some money after the baby is born. It's just like insane. And then if she has a baby here, it's going to cost, I don't know, $10,000 if she has to go to the hospital. It's just insane. They can't do it. So they're going to have to leave us and have a baby all alone.
The new administration, I would like to see it made more affordable. I think insurance companies are making a ton of money, unnecessarily. Everyone's got to, do their part. And there's, the profits that the insurance companies are making, the drug companies are making, are just ludicrous.
Socialize. They should take it over, the whole thing.
No,
this is the country.
No, I don't believe in that.
Yeah, so now we have.
I believe in private enterprise. So.
I mean, it needs a complete overhaul of the system, and it also needs a reprioritizing from Americans. Americans need to say that the government should give us health care, and because it's also affecting business. Businesses are going out of business. Small businesses can't afford to insure their employees. Big businesses are moving out of the country because they can't afford to pay people's health insurance, like all the automakers. So I mean, it affects every aspect, and we have this stupid idea that it should be a for-profit system. That's the problem.
Are really willing to make sacrifices or give things up? I doubt it. As Americans, we're kind of pigs. When it comes to stuff like that, we're not. It's every man for himself. I mean, that's kind of the way this country's kind of founded. The common good of the country as a whole, I think, would take years and years and years and years to cultivate.
I think that breaks down into like kind of class stuff. Obviously I would be all for it, like, what I mean, I use the free clinic, or I use whatever is available to me. I would be all for everything being made available, you know what I mean? But some dude who's got like, the highest end Blue Cross and Blue Shield that's paid for that through his company or whatever, he's not into like giving dude over here like asking me for change the same healthcare as him. He's not going to be.
How do you feel about that kind of system possibly being instituted in the United States?
It would be great, but I don't think it'll happen ever because everybody is so used to the healthcare system here right now, where everybody has a sense of entitlement, and they know that if they have money, they can see the best doctors. If they don't, then they have to wait in line at the clinics, and no one's willing to change that. No one's willing to take a pay cut to see, if you're like a Beverly Hills doctor. They're not willing to go down into like Compton or Hawthorne or Inglewood to see all those customers. They're not willing. No one's going to change for that.